So, Dino, I want to ask you some throwback questions. Huh? Some throwback questions. Some questions from like back in the day. Oh my god, you're gonna put me on the spot to answer some old school questions. Yeah. Can I like can I skip them or pass them if I don't feel? Nah, you can't do that, bro. That'd be cheating. You probably do for old questions. Alright then. Shoot. So when you set the channel up in 2018, yeah, and you I don't know, you started to make recordings. Did you feel it helped you? To be honest, this is for 2018. Yeah. I feel like over time it got better. And I've recently started watching a lot more videos on I would say manifestation. I went from being HLR, which was hustle, loyalty, respect. I still kind of kept that. I've kept that, but I wanted to replace it with manifests. And the reason I say that is because, back to 2018, I feel, I just made a video yesterday about why I quit Wolverhampton, and there are so many examples I can give you, so many reasons why. And you know in the UK it's hard for people to live elsewhere, right? In America, people like they live here, they save up and want to live somewhere else. But in England, I think I'm not trying to say England's a better country or America is or whatever. I'm just trying to say, like, it's whether you have the money. I mean, people in America are always, buying up real estate and properties and, all of that, right? But I think with England, especially when you have kids in the house and kids want to, every kid's different. Yeah, I think that, I was different. I think when I kind of went through what I went through in 2017. I mean, you can even hear it in my voice. I still struggle to even think about it or talk about it. From 2017, I felt like I wasted a whole year of that, and then I wanted to transition. I wanted to put my consciousness into something bigger than myself, and that was the channel, that was the character of Dino. I think making the videos, making the drastic decision to do this, it was really massive. And it I think it played a massive part on my psyche, bro. I mean, I know you want to ask me a bunch more questions, but this was it. Like, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. But back in the day, no one taught me about it. I didn't know any books or anything like that. Like, I didn't visualize. For me personally, people will laugh, but I was the kind of kid that wanted, to be friends with, boys and girls, and I wanted to talk to them and lean on them, and all the things that Firewalker said why I couldn't go there no more, why I couldn't train, was kind of stupid. Because when you kind of look at these guys, especially in these videos, like, no one outright wants to admit they're thirsty, but Dino knows. Yeah. And I think that this kind of goes into the whole narrative of, if I traveled or I had the ability to get girls or women, or I had them, I don't think I would care. And I think mainly due to the fact that I've spent a lot of my time distancing, or sticking to the narrative of, I was disrespected once, and I mean, if I find a gym or I find something to do, then that's different. But I felt like it's more of a disrespectful arc, wasting a whole year of 2018, 2019, 2017, 2016, 2015. It's like those are times and years that you're never going to get back. And then you put a video of, I don't know, Becky on, and she's just taking full advantage of being a model, or taking advantage of being in that Uber video, or making a song, or you put these videos on, and you're like, this girl took full advantage of that. And you look at somebody like myself, and I made videos. I've made loads of videos. I've got loads of videos. I want to constantly make videos. But the thing to highlight for me is, You know, even if somebody puts me on the spot to speak in front of them, that's something that I could not do. And people be like, "You've got to, bro. You've got to talk. You've got to tell us how you feel." So I think that kind of adds a layer of diversity to it. Yeah, because what you gotta understand at the end of the day is I'm not trying to say like I know people, like I come across them, and you know, when it was fireworker, I got to train with those guys and learn those combinations, those punches, those kicks, those elbows. I got to do boxing, Thai pads, all of that, right? And even a bit of weight training, right? But I loved it, right? I think that I think that girls will always be in the picture, not for me, but in the circumstance. And everybody says there's plenty of fish in the sea, right? There's plenty of girls out there that, you know, will want to know. And it's not about me refusing to believe this. It's just always been that way of like, even from an early age, even before I started messaging. No, sorry, I didn't have social medias back in the day. I was thinking about Springdale. When I messed around with Emily Owen or Leah Francis, like not messing around with them like that, but you know, leaning on them or trying to talk to them or get their attention. And you know, I was so cringe back in the day, because even when I think about it, I'm like, how did I get away with it and not get in trouble? Yeah, trust me, you know. And you know, I feel I don't hold it as some form of regret, right? I'm embarrassed. If anything, no, I'm not embarrassed about being scolded or, you know, removed, excluded from Firewalker. That's not really Fireworker, whatever, right? I'm not really embarrassed about that, because, you know, they're haters. They're gonna hate for whatever reason. But, you know, when I kind of do things like that, you know, I start to see it, you know, and I start to feel a little bit of embarrassment. And I think that's kind of why I needed to make the channel. I needed to, you know, if I need to swear and express myself. I just need to do that. Yeah. And having the ability to manifest better times, or, you know, want to socialize with quality people. I mean, I said that this year after I met Josh McCarthy, but that's the thing. Josh McCarthy was a quality person and offered me better times a lot more than those guys in those facilities ever did, you know. And it's not based on like, well, no, that's because he's Josh McCarthy. It's because he was a man of status. When men have status, men have the ability. And let's not kid ourselves, like Josh McCarthy had a girlfriend at the time and he had Bear Gal leaning on him. That's just who Josh McCarthy was. And I will admit this, I got to walk next to him and experience that for myself. Like, no, like visually, right? Because I could have stayed indoors, I could have watched movies, I could have streamed something on Amazon Prime or whatever, right? Or Netflix. I don't like to. If I had a partner, you know, whatever, I would. But that's the thing with me, is like, I'm more of a gym guy. I'm more of a, I want to clear my head guy. I'm more of, if I've got a problem, I've got a fucking problem. And that's just what it is. The channel being that confused fella, you know, that's even where it was, because I was confused. I'm the sort of person that I will look at something and not agree with it, and I will disrespect the fuck out of it, whatever it is. And that's just who Dino is. And Dino looks at these guys, and the amount of podcasts, bro, yeah, I watch. No, not watch, sorry, come across. Because you have to sit there through hours to watch it, right? To experience it. I just don't have the time for that. Yeah. I would much rather play a Becky video. That's more interesting to me. Just hear her talk or look at her or whatever. Like her posts. Like, it's more interesting to me to do that, instead of just sitting here watching a bunch of wannabes on the internet try and get famous. Like, oh, look at me, I'm well known. Yeah, for no reason, love. Yeah. Whatever. All of these podcasts have got this whole generation twisted. You know what I mean? Yeah. And especially to the fact that, like, these guys will want to be cheated on. They love it. Yeah. But what about Dino? Oh, Dino hates being disrespected. He fucking hates it. The moment you disrespect me, I'll be in my yard and I'll be like, you better hide indoors. I will smash your face in. That's how serious it is, bro. Like, Dino ain't playing no games. Dino ain't shook of no man. Like, I spat a bar recently. I was like, they're in a bedroom or they're in a basement, and I'm over here shackled in a dungeon when it comes to freestyle spitting. I don't need next man's permission. I said something hard like that. I'm leveling up all the time. But that's the power, bro. Like, that's the power of manifestation. That's the power of law of attraction. When you visualize yourself, thinking clearly, or you want to, like, if I wanted to speak confidently, I could speak confidently, right? If I wanted to go in that direction, I'd go off in that direction. If I wanted, that's the thing, like, people will never really open themselves up to the possibilities. And I think it's just due to England. I mean, America, there's so many opportunities. I watched a Becky video recently about her saying that when it comes to saving up, I'm not really trying to expose her here, but, like, she struggles. And growing up, I mean, I spent a lot of money. I wouldn't say I struggled to save up or struggle to, I'm very frugal with my money. My money would go towards her if she was my girlfriend, right? I love her, right? If it was me, I would say it's yours. And I wouldn't think twice about it. Like, I wouldn't, like, blink or anything. Like, she could have everything I have. She could have my accounts. She could have my money. She could, anything, everything, right? She could have it. And I'm not really, like, that type of way about it. No questions asked, right? But the thing to note here is, even when you say something on that level or on that caliber, people just look at it and see it like, that guy's a simp. That guy's a weak person, right? But we got to understand this. You know, for me personally, I would have been happy. I would have been happy for the rest of my life working a job. And, not even working one job. I'd work 5 jobs. I'm a man of I'm not, I was a man of status, right? I could go back to being a man of status, but I'm a man of culture, right? So I'm experiencing all types of culture when I say that, right? Different countries, different people, different languages. I want to learn all of that, right? I want to be a part of that. Yeah. And I think the thing is to note here is, when you quote yourself, it's very important. If you quote yourself a confident person, you've got to carry yourself as an important person. You can't be one of those type of guys that has a girlfriend and literally sits there like you have dream girls. And that's really where these guys go. Like, a guy could cheat on a 10 out of 10. Yeah. And I'll be looking at these guys and I'll be like, but these girls you're cheating on her with aren't even 10 out of 10s. Like, they're made for the streets. And it goes back to these podcasts, because these guys or these girls, whatever, like the ones that want attention, that beg for affection, they want boyfriends to pay for them, and they don't even want to contribute. They don't want to bring that into the table. And I see it, right? It's not because, with Josh McCarthy, right? I would look at him and I'd be like, if she disrespects you, you gotta put your foot down, bro. Like, in a sense of, like, I know he's my bro. I'm not trying to be toxic or misogynist or anything like that towards him. Like, you should outright disrespect her. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, the best way for a man to say he's loyal and want respect or want love or anything like that is to not let a girl feel that she can stir it up. You know what I mean? If she says he's not toxic or he's not misogynist or whatever, right? Then something has to happen. He has to put things in place to make sure that that relationship works. And I feel like, even not being in a relationship myself, or having the opportunity to be in one, or loads over the years, like to find one girl and love her for the rest of my life, it's one of those instances where, or one of those examples. I could give you an example. It's I'm trying to think of that guy I knew a long time ago. Probably Tyrese. I was talking to this guy, and he's like, he was training at my gym, the one I got excluded from for bullshit reasons.